everybody, it is me, Julian Greystoke. I'm here filming for you before breakfast because that's how much I love you. Jane loves you too. Not as much as me, because he doesn't have his own YouTube channel. Yet. Don't get any ideas, Jane, there can only be one YouTuber in this house. So last night I finished listening to the audiobook version of Carve the Mark by Veronica Roth. Yes, that Veronica Roth. I have a bit of a history with this author. You see, I hated the Divergent series. If you want to go see some rambly, ranty, salty reviews, links in the doobly-doo to all of those. I'm not the sort of person who will hold a few terrible books against an author. I was willing to give her a second chance. And I had heard some negative things about this, but I was like, you know, I went in with a pretty clean slate. I hadn't actually heard too much about this book. I wanted to see for myself what I was dealing with. We are going to be spoilerific in this one. No restraint on spoilers. So if you are going to go and you are going to read Carve the Mark, I actually kind of recommend the recorded book version because this book is long and it drags on, and I'll be honest, without someone reading it to me, I don't think I would have kept going. This book is ostensibly a sci-fi, and I have seen some people mentioning that it's not really very sci-fi because yes, they're in space and they occasionally go from planet to planet, but there's not a lot of sci-fi stuff going on. And you know what? That part didn't bother me. I'm not a huge fan of hard sci-fi. I don't need to know how everything works, and I definitely am not a fan of scenes from the Senate floor. So the fact that this was like really sci-fi light actually was kind of right up my alley. However, it really didn't need to be sci-fi. You've probably heard some controversy about this book, as did I, and I was curious to find out for myself. So let's just dive right into the big one. As I was reading, I knew that there had been some accusations of this book being kind of ableist. And our main character does suffer from chronic pain. Everybody in this world has a cool X-Man power that they get when they come of age, essentially. And your X-Man power, for some reason, is based on something that happened to you right in that formative time. One of our heroes has one that causes her chronic pain and can allow her to hurt other people with her touch, which is a power that we've seen in some other places, including X-Men. It's really great for angst. Anyway, as I was reading along, I was like, yeah, you know what? This is not great, but I'm still not seeing the cause of like this outrage. And then I got to that part, and I was like, oh, yeah. See, here's the thing. I am an able-bodied person and I do not suffer from chronic pain, but I have friends who do, and I don't even think you need friends who do to understand how bad this was. Our heroine decides that she can like take all the pain onto herself because she is tough enough to take the pain, and because of this pain, she thanks the pain that she has suffered her entire life, debilitating thing that she has suffered her entire life, for her strength, and she treats it as though it is a good thing. And I mean, I'm not explaining it very well, but the way that the book does it, I cannot think of a single person who suffers from chronic pain who would be like, thank goodness for my chronic pain, it makes me so much stronger. No, you just want to be rid of the chronic pain. And yeah, I can super duper see why people are mad about this. Here's the thing, I know I've read some stuff that said that Veronica Roth herself is a chronic pain sufferer, and you know what, I can understand why she wrote this. This is very self-insert. She has written a hero character who is her. She wants to feel like her pain is worth it. She wants to feel like her pain has given her strength and made her a better person. And you know what, Veronica Roth, I can't blame ya. I can't blame ya for writing this, but it's, you gotta see how it's super insulting though. if people aren't you. So I'm gonna stop talking about that and talk about some of the other mildly insulting things that kind of happened in this story. People have talked about the racial stuff. I didn't see that as much. I'm probably gonna get in trouble for this, but I feel like some of that is a little bit blown out of proportion. I feel like Veronica Roth is clumsy when it comes to writing that kind of thing, but not disastrously so. She just kind of writes whatever she wants without really thinking about it too much. That said, we have got these two peoples living on the same planet, and the one that our female lead comes from, because let's be honest, the female lead is the only interesting one. The male lead is cardboard. The male lead is just there to be the romantic interest who's good. He is good, that is his character trait, and that's all he's got. So the heroine comes from a people that invaded this planet, and they are sort of seen as the vicious ones, the cruel ones. And of course there's a little bit back and forth revisionist history between both of them, and therefore they hate each other. But the culture of the people of our heroine is kind of intriguing and confusing, and I feel like definitely needs more world building going on, because she comes from people who have been traveling the stars, and so they steal and appropriate other cultures for themselves. I don't know if that's supposed to be a metaphor for America. On the one hand, I'm kind of interested by that, but on the other hand, I'm like, but where did they come from? Like, they must have had their own culture at some point. Or are they literally just a bunch of people from different planets that all just decided to get together on some spaceships and fly throughout the galaxy? Another thing that was kind of a problem for me that I haven't heard too many people talking about, which is weird, is the villain character. The brother of our lead character, who for some reason we find out later isn't her brother, because heaven forbid she be blood related to the bad guy. He has this power to steal someone's memories and implant his own, which is like super invasive and terrible, but he's the bad guy, the finger tenting, mwahahaha, bad guy. He is like that because of the treatment that he received from their father. We really do not get to see much of this mistreatment. We see like one instance of it, and then the rest were just told that it happened, so we have no idea exactly what the father did to this guy. But we're led to believe it's like super, super terrible, and that is why he's a raging asshole. Anyway, at a certain point, he gets a hold of a seer. There's also prophecies in this, and that was super confusing and weird and random, and I'm not even going to talk about that. And he begins to switch memories with him to get the seer guy on his side because he wants prophecies for himself. There could be in this book a really interesting exploration of nature versus nurture. How much of this character's evil comes from the abuse that was done to him, and how much comes from himself personally, and the seer character who grew up in a happy household and was well adjusted, how much of that is his happy household and how much of his good personality is from him personally, from his core being. That would have been really great to explore, but this book seems to imply that memories make up your personality and that's it. And I disagree. I feel like that it was completely glossed over. Could have been an interesting discussion, but instead it basically was like memories equal personality. So they're like swapping memories, so they're swapping personalities. Our lead male character finds out that he is Shotet, one of our female characters' people, because he can speak their language. Because apparently, even though they don't have a culture, their language is genetic. And I thought that was the stupidest thing I have ever heard. I'm sorry, that is so dumb. That is such a lame excuse for this character to end up going along and going with the female lead. Okay, he's captured along with his seer brother and they put him in the army. He's in the army for like 2 years. Have him pick up the language while he's in the army. What the fuck is up with this? He's also a Shotet, so he genetically knows the language. I mean, that's probably gonna come up in a later book because there's a whole bunch of weird shit about parentage and how who you're blood related to totally matters a lot in this world. So Carve the mark. It was holding at a steady 2 stars for me, and then it got to that part that I talked about with the chronic pain being seen as a good thing and it just lost everything. All of the stars that it had. I think it's going to be a series. It ended with their characters riding off. Not riding off on a train, they're riding off in a spaceship. But it was like, this is exactly how Divergent ended, 100%. I'm not going to read any more of it, though. Anyway, guys, remember that I usually post new videos Mondays and Fridays. And all the links to my social media are no, Jane, they're down. They're down in the doobly-doo. Not up towards my face. No! I'm in danger. I'm in danger. I don't feel safe. I need an adult. I will see you guys next time with whatever it is we happen to be doing next time.